Hi guys, so I've joined a collab and it's about, sorry, the information is below you here, basically doing a mental health story time. I spoke a couple weeks ago about my own issues that I've been having with depression, anxiety, and specifically over the summer, some panic attacks. So I will link that, I don't know if it's here or here, whatever. I'll link that video above. And you can check that out. But one of the prompts for this collab is when was the first time you realized you or someone you knew had mental health illness, and how has mental health affected you or your loved ones? So my personal journey with mental health is I didn't realize it at the time in my early 20s that, the panic attacks that I was having were actually a mental health issue. But I was able to do some cognitive behavioral therapy with a therapist and kind of work my way through that. But again, at the time, I didn't realize that was a mental health issue. I just figured it was, frankly, a pain in the bum. Because they came at the worst time possible all the time. Because I was, type A, I was a workaholic, and basically now that I know what I know that it was my body going, you know what? You need to slow down. But that's the logic of it, right? Like the emotions that go along with mental health issues are totally different. At the end of my marriage 7 years ago, I had what the doctor referred to as situational depression, and was able to manage that with some medication and counseling, and kind of got through that fairly easily, if that's possible. And, I had to, and then about a year after the end of my marriage, I was having flashbacks and stuff like this, and I went back on the medication again for a few more months just to kind of take that edge off and still be able to be a mom, right? Because that's my primary now is being a mom. And then last fall, I realized that I needed some extra support as well, and went into my doctor, and yes, now I have clinical depression, and so I'm on medication for that, and basically it takes the edge off so I can function throughout the day. But over the summer, my anxiety then came in and became a huge factor. So again, there's more details about that in the link above. And so take a look at that video if you'd like some more details. I created that video kind of when I was in the midst of it, so it's a little raw. I felt very vulnerable sharing it, but I also feel that it's important to share information about mental health issues because, just like how when you break your foot, you go in and get a cast, which is something that I had to do over the summer. Mental health issues, just because it's not visible doesn't mean that it doesn't impact you and everything in your life. I actually have a friend who had, how do I explain this? He was an alcoholic, which of course is a mental health issue, and he was able to get sober, which is absolutely amazing. And once he got sober, the family realized that it was actually that the alcoholism was masking some pretty severe mental health issues as well, some severe depression, and some other issues as well. And he couldn't get the support that he needed. It was I think they said a 2-year wait list before he could even get in to see somebody to work on these other mental health issues. And unfortunately, that wasn't 2 years was too long. How's that? And he ended up taking his life because he could not deal with the pain anymore. And I mean, hats off to him that he got sober, but there needs to be the additional support. Like, if you, alcoholism is never just a one one diagnosis thing. There's always something underlying. And I mean, it's great here in Canada that we have free healthcare, but along with free healthcare also comes really long wait lists. So the tragedy is that we lost this amazing human being in our lives, and he was actually a twin. And a few months later, his twin also took his life, because as explained by the second twin in the information that was left for his family, he couldn't do it without his twin. So mental health is so important. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. And I mean, those are just 3 examples, 2 that were, how mental health issues affect friends of mine, and 1 for how it affects myself. Just 3 examples of how important, debilitating, impactful, I'm not sure exactly what word to use here, mental health issues can be. And almost, how do I explain this? You even like, if you have a mental health issue as well, what's almost worse is when you ignore it, because then you don't have the coping mechanisms to be able to work your way through it. And if you've had this mental health issue for decades and decades and decades, but you're not helping yourself, then you're also not helping your family, you're not helping others. So I encourage you, please, 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 please reach out. Even if you want to send me a message by private message, talk to your doctor, and don't go in going, I'm sorry, but I'm just not feeling. Go in and say, this is the issue. I've been dealing with this for a very long time now. What can I do? Your healthcare practitioner can help. Your family can help support you. Your friends can help support you. And there's nothing to be, to be embarrassed about. I'm not sure what word to use, but there are so many resources out there to help people with mental health issues. I mean, personally, I'm studying to be a social worker to be able to help people with mental health issues. So it's very predominant in my world. I have taught my kids all about mental health issues as well. There is a genetic predisposition, if I can say that, not just me, but also their dad, for mental health issues. So, I want them to be aware and to know that, that if they need the extra support, I will make sure that it's there for them. So there's my story time. There's a number of ladies that have joined this collab, so I will leave that link to the playlist down below. So take a look through and watch their videos as well. And feel free to leave a comment letting me know if you feel comfortable about mental health issues, or if you have any questions about anxiety, depression, panic attacks. I'm happy to answer them, whether it's in the comments section below or in an additional video. And we need to treat mental health issues the same as we treat a broken bone, or the flu. There needs to be the support in the medical community to be able to help support people that that have mental health issues. So don't forget to like and subscribe while you're down there, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.